Diving into the world of post-Phantom Darkness for the OCG. Make sure you guys smash the crap out of that subscribe button so you guys don't miss out on more awesome content. So we're going to be looking at the 33rd Saiyan Championship to start here, and Solid Great is our victor out of this event. Am I surprised about that? Absolutely not. To be honest with you, Salad has kind of had a little bit of an interesting lead on the competition, and especially now that they have Bestower of Flames, you know, things are going to get way more interesting. Now, kind of bringing up the back end of this event, we had Valiance, which I am genuinely surprised to see that that deck is still functioning. We had a fully functioning Labyrinth deck out here, and let's be honest at this point in time, you Labyrinth enjoyers are going to be very happy to know this deck's still doing good. And then we also had a Phantom Knights pile as well, which is looks like it's using a lot more Warrior Toolbox stuff to kind of take advantage of some of the engine stuff. So definitely a very diverse event in terms of things that are kind of present right now in the meta, and you know, maybe this Phantom Nightmare set, maybe it did miss the mark. Let's pass on over to deck list. Our first list is going to be something that I've kind of been seeing a lot more in the OCG, and it's we have Kaiser Coliseum and friends down here, kind of giving this deck a nice little floodgate approach to being able to play the game. And you know, I'm not going to take anything away from Salad, but it's definitely interesting that you are getting the chance to play this. Also, this deck is playing Iron Thunderhammer. Now remember, when a spell, trap card, or monster effect is activated on the field, pay half of your life points to negate that activation. You do destroy that card. Then destroy all cards in the spell and trap card zone and monster zones in the same column. This card has been dubbed like the modern era Solemn Judgment. I still don't think it's anywhere as good as Solemn, but people are reaching. And then, of course, Bestower Flames. Yeah, you get locked in the fire, but guess who's fire? Mr. Raging Phoenix here. Your deck doesn't care. You just get to auto-climb up into this, and your opponent's like, oh, great, now I have to deal with this. It's actually very interesting to see that this card actually does make all the difference in this style of deck. So kudos to actually seeing Salad take home a victory. Now, it is, yes, the Super Heavy Samurai Valance deck. Now, the first thing I'm going to tell you is, yes, the OCG does have this stupid good card, all right? But this deck does tend to get the chance to do some interesting things. I also see we're playing Diamond Core. Well, you know, this also so we can make Kawaki Meru Doom out here to negate the effects of all light and dark monsters that activate during the main phase. I'm going to be completely honest with you. I don't have the faintest idea of how everything here is kind of filtering together. I do know that, obviously, the OCG has been very famous for ending on a Fossil Dynapachycephalo at the end of combo because Gallant Granite is just free real estate for this deck. Like, 95% of the time, when you're going through full combo here, and the fact that you're able to toggle for this and then just normal summon it, your opponent's going to look at you and they're going to go, what in the world just actually happened here? Like, how did we get here? Well, that's the power of this deck. All right. Hey, it's Labyrinth with our one pot of prosperity. Yep. But remember, the OCG still has transaction rollback. You know, I cannot tell you how stupid crazy transaction rollback actually is as a card, because you just get to turn on your additional welcome labyrinths and you get to go off on the opponent. Your opponent's just going to stare at it and they're going to go, what in the world is actually happening? And I've noticed that the field spell has been pretty much kicked to the side deck. Like, unfortunately, this card, it is good, it just doesn't get the chance to do as much. And of course, the OCG still does have Infection Buzz King. And we've seen how good this card can actually be. Yeah, it's 2+ level 8s to make it, but everything that this card tends to do is just a massive pressure on the opponent. Once the TCG does eventually get this card, I do fully expect some sort of stupid thing to happen. And of course, double Doomsday Star. In fact, the Labyrinth can technically cycle through 2 of these. Also, it's a Fiend. Alright, and our last list out of this event, this is effectively Phantom Knight Toolbox with some heroic challengers. I see that we are playing the one heroic call in here. We are, of course, playing the best warrior cards to go into. Hooray. So basically, all this little toolboxing stuff is to ensure that you can kind of get off the ground. And then, of course, that's right, we are playing Aurier because we can technically rank it on up into Kali Yuga. You know, we really have come a long way out here. It's just the fact that the Strenna can pop into this. Oh my gosh. So yeah, you just Strenna on into the Aurier, and you have Dual King Kali Yuga full lock on your opponent, and once again, your opponent's just going to be like, how did this happen to me? I definitely like the fact that you have all of these little interaction points in here just to make sure that, his sold resolves and you get the chance to fully combo on your opponent. All right, let's pass on over to the next section. All right, we've arrived at the 233rd Sun Championship. Holy crap, that's amazing. Now, this is going to be a much more meta-filled event than I think you're probably going to be used to seeing here, because Purely ended up winning this event. We've seen that Purely in the OCG has turned into this completely different pile of cards, and it is massively scary. But the thing that caught my attention out of this was they have a Centurion Naturia deck. You know how the TCG was abusing a lot of these cards? Well, the OCG kind of took notice of this and said, hey, we can mix Naturia cards in with Centurion, and we can achieve these very interesting results. You're going to get the chance to see some Mathmech action, boarding off the EMP, the Windmill Wade, and of course, some more Labyrinth for you. But I really like how you are getting the chance to see, I get Phantom Nightmare a lot of crap, but it is actually kind of cool to see these decks actually doing well. Let's pass on over to those deck lists. All right, so starting off here is the most basic Purely deck in the whole wide world. Let's just be honest here. I see Ghost Bells. The OCG gets to play triple Purely Leap, which boggles my mind that they still are able to kind of toggle into this. But when your best engine cards are still kind of left in the state they are, makes sense. And I also see that the OCG is getting to play Solemn Scolding. So technically, if all resolves here, okay, so you go ahead and resolve your Purely Leap at this point in time. Your opponent's like, okay, and then you flip up Yield Solemn Scolding. Well, it's the only card set after you've resolved Purely Leap, so you effectively have all of this protection, so you can kind of go ahead and set up your field. Outside of that, is that not the true Purely experience? I like this. It must be nice to have this much resilience. I'm glad to see that Sleepy Memory is in fact limited there, but interesting little tech choices for this really do make this deck have a nice little chance to shine. All right, what else we got going on back here? Wow. They get to play Horus cards in this pile. It's just 2 Imseti, that's it. So you get to play a mini Imseti package. Oh, they do play the Stone Walls. Huh, well that's kind of cool, I suppose. So you get to, I guess this is just extra trigger outlets for the Naturia cards to make sure that these can kind of go ahead and set up here. What are we trying to do here? Technically, 8 plus... well, we don't have any tuners present here, so I guess we're just using this as a mini negate outlet to set up the Sunflower and then kind of roll across. I also see that we are citing the Vein down here, and then of course, you're still just combining Imseti with Primera, and then you have, your level 12 Synchro. So this is an interesting pile, but it answers pretty much everything that you need for the deck to make sure that you kind of can do your thing. Okay. Next up here, yeah, we know what's going on here. Ever since Circulars went to 1, Mathmech has been in the absolute back crying, but it's okay. They have the Grim Await now to actually meow to victory. Remember, there's a Link Monster on the field or an the graveyard. You can beam this on out free. You can only special summon these once per turn. If a Link 2 monster you control is sent to the graveyard or banished, you can banish this card from your graveyard and then basically target one card your opponent controls and return it to the hand. Trust me, they should have never given Cyverse this good of a support card, but it's good. And then of course, let's get to play the pack bet here, which gets to bring out something and crystallize it in the spell trap card zone. Card is actually pretty good. Alright, also, it's a Cyverse, so the little interesting interactions you can kind of do with this. Okay, and then our last list here, hey, we're playing 1 Arias. Okay, there's our triple transaction rollback that we are very much used to seeing. Gotta love it. Now this build is playing triple Pot of Extravagance, which means you're going to be maximizing on the money cards, baby. You want to make sure that, you're fully able to capitalize and get these off the ground, in case you do have to make it. See that we do have Yield Destructive Daruma Cannons in here. Yeah, this all looks fine. I love the fact that we are citing 2 more Lady Labyrinths down here. I guess the 1 is just good enough for some of these duelists. Actually kind of impressive with this. So, that is all that we have for this list. Please leave a comment down below, tell me what you guys think, and I'll see your beautiful faces back here later today, guys. Peace. Patrons! Thank you!
Thank you so much for watching. Check out these other videos.